Finally, let's talk about Phoenix. Phoenix makes a couple moves. They pick up Royce O'Neal and David Roddy, who, going to play huge playoff minutes for them because they
Big
need
playoff
as much
body
help
Roddy.
as they can get on the wing.
Oh.
And, the Yuta Watanabe winds up in Memphis, and they send out some picks. So for Phoenix, I mean, they've been looking much better since their guys got healthy and are playing together. Royce O'Neal makes a lot of sense for them. Good pickups.
I think you're making fun of and missed the big playoff body Roddy.
Oh, no, I'm not making fun of anything.
I think you're making
I know
fun
what the
of
playoffs
that.
are going to look like.
No, Royce O'Neal's a good pickup for them in what they needed and everything that they, again, just a guy that can spread the floor a little bit, can defend a little bit in all that sense. Like, here's the thing. Most of these trades throughout the entire trade deadline, none of them really moved the needle for me. Apart from the Knicks trade, none of them really moved the needle where I'm like, whoa. I think smart teams shored up what they needed to do. I think other teams kind of added some stuff. Some teams were still kind of curious what the hell they're doing. And I think, for Phoenix, you just put them in the category of, look, they added something that they needed. I don't know how much that lifts them up into their into the stratosphere.
They gave up very little, right? I mean, and they got a guy who's going to play in the playoffs.
There's a little question of where O'Neal is in that category of players who certainly their defensive reputations probably linger a little too. I'm not saying he's a bad defender now, but I don't think he's the defender he was, from his time in Utah.
Neither were you.
Well, I mean, there's only so low you can sink. So I was already at rock bottom. So, but yeah, no. And then, Roddy, I just, quick stat on that. How many players who've played at least 1,000 minutes this year have a lower true shooting percentage than David Roddy?
Oh, no. Man, he's just catching strays. The dude didn't ask to be traded, man. They traded him. Even my dog did.
Wait till two. Scoot Henderson, who's kind of got a mulligan given rookie point guard ball in his hands and hurt. And the other one is, and this is delicious to me, is Killian Hayes. So,
boy,
one last shot on the way out,
man.
Hey,
like I feel for
one more
Roddy
missed
now.
shot on the way out. The thing about Royce O'Neal, he's like not a 3 and D, he's like a 2.7 and a lowercase d at this point in his career, right? He'll hit the open ones. Royce O'Neal, Torrey Craig, light.
Yeah, I worry a little bit about their size on the wing because they is Devin Booker their biggest wing now?
He might still be their best defensive wing.
I think that's the guy you have to throw at a guy.
I think I would agree with that. Sure. Yeah, but these guys are just smaller. Like they're all 6'5" and shorter, and O'Neal's a part of that group now. And they actually traded away the guys that were like their 6'9", 6'10" guys in this deal. Not that they were going to help. They're all, I know. They weren't going to help a lot, but I'm just saying that it's hard to win in this league when like the only big guys on your team are like the big guy. It's if these guys are all 6'5" and shorter, I think that's really tough, especially if they get matched up with a team like the Clippers. I don't know. I think that's a tough deal for them.
I mean, that die was cast when they made the Beal trade.
Yeah, they put themselves in
that
spot.
I just wonder if and maybe they didn't have enough to get a guy like Dorian Finney-Smith, but that's the kind of like wing that they could have used that had a little bit more size.
Yeah, but that goes to, I think, the Nets again asking price being way higher than it needed to be. Yeah. And I think that's the case with a lot of teams. And I think that's also why a lot of teams didn't, like Washington, didn't have the fire sale we thought they were going to have.
Yeah, right? Atlanta.
I think they know there's going to be more opportunities in the offseason for these guys. And a lot of those guys are not free agents. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong on some of them. But, I think that's the thing. I think that's part of the reason why the Lakers made the calculus that they made to stand pat. Hey, we can probably get better players in the offseason when we can trade more of our picks. And I think that was a better opportunity for them. And I think that's why they went the route they did. And I think Phoenix just did what they could.